Good Friday. Hello. Happy Friday. Hello, Otters. Today is Friday. It is March 5th. Here are your daily announcements. We have had Kindness Week this week, and I am so thankful for each of you to have you here at school and for the words that you've shared with each other and the words that you've shared with me and the relaying the stories of the actions what that you have done in order to choose kind this week. And so I'm going to take a moment and share a few of the pictures that I've received. I haven't received a lot, but I have some. I'm going to share those with you now. So keep sending those in to me. Today is actually our Cedar River Spirit Day, our Cedar River Choose Kind Day that we are celebrating kindness. I can't wait to see your kind t-shirts or your Cedar River gear, as we are definitely the champions of kindness here. So let's celebrate some of the pictures that you've sent in. So continue to send those photos into me so I can share them next week. And I want to say thank you to my twin with our leadership t-shirts on. We both wore them and didn't even know that we'd be matching today. So we were trying to be our Cedar River selves today, so that's awesome. I have some otter paws, and remember that otter paws for our O3s: show respect, make good decisions, and solve problems. You can be recognized in positive ways for doing that. And you can turn those in. If you are remote, your teacher can certainly send that information to me, and I put your otter paw or the information into the drawing. You might even have your teachers send these home to you. You might find them in your bags. Other people have recognized you, and I can make sure that they get put into the bin for the drawing. So we do those. So let's see here. I have one to Lila and Miss Nixich for doing a great job. You were focused and making a good decision. I have one to Kaylee. I think, Kaylee, that you are in 3rd grade, but it was from Miss Mimi, and she said that you were having great hallway behavior. I'll find out whose class you're in. Also one to Ruby, also in the hallway, so 2nd or 3rd grader. I'll find out who you are. And you were from Miss Mimi, and she was saying that you're always waving and saying hi and choosing kind. Actually, this was in hallway 100, so she'll find you and make sure that you get your prize. So way to always be smiling. And we have one to Jax and Miss March, and you were noticed following directions the first time. We have one to Brenton and Miss Turian, and you were focused during a Zoom lesson. We have one to Michaela and Miss Johnson for attentive listening during the instruction, and one to Kaden and Miss Kovich for staying on task during your Zoom lesson and instruction from Miss Lopez. So nicely done. You will find these in your teacher's boxes. I will put them in there. If you are a remote student, we will make sure those go in your remote bags the next time. So awesome. I love otter paws. They make me happy. Today I was walking around trying to notice students doing the right thing, because I know if I look for it, I'm going to see it, and it just it makes me happy. It's kind of like looking for kindness, right? So next week, our focus, we're going to have some Teach To videos, if you will. We'll have a couple of fun little videos towards the end of the week in our morning announcements about the expectations for drop-off and pickup, and that's for students while you're standing and waiting. So that would be for our on-campus students to focus on that part of our O3. And our remote students, we are focusing on, you got it, making sure that we are attending during our Zoom lesson. We have a lot of students who are fidgeting or writing or cutting or doing things that aren't a little bit distracted. They're a little bit distracted during that lesson. So I can't wait to hear how you are doing great things, and maybe you'll get recognized with an honor plaque. So that's all I have for you today. I hope that you have a great weekend. I hope that you are, hopefully able to enjoy some sunshine somewhere. I hope that it comes out. And until then, as always, it's a great day to be an honor. Turn to your teacher for the Pledge of Allegiance. And if you choose to stay tuned, at the end, we have a story from Miss Kaitlyn Garrison.
Hi Cedar River friends, it's Miss Kaitlyn and it is Kindness Week. I have another book to read to you today. It is called You, Me, and Empathy. Empathy is one way we can be kind. When I was a baby, I was really small, while everyone else seemed incredibly tall. But as I grew older, I started to see that people are people just like me. How are you the same as your friend, sister, brother? How are you different? Sometimes I'm happy and sometimes I'm sad. Sometimes I'm worried and sometimes I'm mad. We all have feelings, you have them too, and sometimes I feel just exactly like you. What makes you happy? What makes you sad? What makes you worried? When my mother was sick with a tummy bug, I knew that she needed a snuggly hug. I rubbed her back and patted her hand and said, "I'm so sorry, I do understand." For once I was sick with a terrible flu. I sneezed and I spluttered, but what could I do? My mother said softly while patting my hand, "My dearest of dears, I do understand." That's when she gave me a big snuggly hug, and I instantly knew I was humongously loved. My mother was kind and caring to me, exactly the same as how we should be. What helps you when you're sick? How does that make you feel? When my brother fell over and hurt his knee, he cried and cried in front of me. I helped him up and said, there, and sat him down on the kitchen chair. For once I slipped and cut my knee. My brother was there to care for me. He held my hand and said, there, and sat me down on the kitchen chair. Who shows you kindness? In what ways do they show you kindness? How do you show kindness to others? One day in the park, a girl was pushed over, knocked to the ground by a dog called Rover. I knew his name because, you see, Rover the dog did the same thing to me. The poor little girl sat still on the ground, not a sob, not a whimper, not one little sound. Then all of a sudden she started to cry. Perhaps I could help. It was worth a try. There, I said as I patted her arm. Rover the dog doesn't mean any harm. He's just being playful, so try not to fuss. He just doesn't notice small people like us. Have you ever helped anyone who was sad? How did you help them? One day at school, while having fun, I saw a boy alone in the sun. No one came over and said, "Let's play." I could see he was sad. He was not okay. So I left my friends and over I ran, and I asked if he'd like to play in the sand. His smile was huge, enormous, and wide. It gave me a warm, fuzzy feeling inside. When I started school, I too sat alone. I had no one to play with. I longed to go home. Then a girl called Abby ran over to me, and she asked me to play near the old oak tree. We gathered some acorns for finger hats and swung from the branches like acrobats. We played for ages, and from that day, friends forever, we always say. Have you got a good friend? How does your friend make you feel? Yesterday at the big green slide, I saw a child run away and hide. Come back, said her dad, just give it a try. The slide is not so terribly high. So up she climbed to the very top. Slide down, he said, I'll help you stop. But there she sat, and there she stayed, wanting to move, but she was too afraid. I knew just how this girl was feeling. Worried and scared, her head was reeling. For when I was little, I sat at the top, terrified that I wouldn't stop. You can do this, is what I said. You're braver than you think. It's all in your head. The more and more brave things you do, the easier it becomes for you. I am really brave, the girl shouted. And whoosh, before we knew it, she was on the ground. Have you ever felt scared? What happened? Let's talk about a time you had to be brave. There's one more story I'd like to share about a bully who never played fair. He pushed children over, was mean and unkind. He made us feel sad so deep down inside. But one day at school, I saw a strange thing. The bully was bullied and pushed off the swing. He was sad. He was crying as he walked away. So I followed and I asked him, "Are you okay?" His eyes were watery and his nose was red. He looked at me. These words he said, "I was mean to the children. It just wasn't right. I know how they feel now. I've had a big fright. Kind and caring is how we should be. I know this because a bully bullied me." Have you ever been bullied? How did it make you feel? What did you do? So as I am growing taller each day, I'm learning so much in so many ways. I'm learning that we should try to be kind, helpful, and caring all of the time. Our world is so special, we need all to care about one another and the earth we share. People together from far and wide, we're all on this planet, we're on the same side. What might be some ways we could show other people that we care about them? So when someone's hurting, worried, or sad, remember those feelings I'm sure you've had. Say kindly with care, "I understand, I do, but sometimes I feel just exactly like you." All right, my friends, happy Kindness Week.